All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market show. Hope everyone is having an amazing morning, and hope you're having. You hope you had a great day yesterday as well. Just want to do a quick mic check. Make sure you guys can hear me. Okay.
Loud and clear, man.
Excellent. Good morning, Norm. How are you today?
Hey, good morning, Carlos. I'm doing well. Yourself?
Doing good. Doing good. All right, guys. Let's get into it. So we had a very interesting day yesterday. A lot of stocks in play. A lot of stocks that were had a lot of momentum, a lot of movement, which is great to see. So let's get into some of those. Here we have. This was not my entire watch list from yesterday. Some of these were possibles, like CAT I had removed, and I can't remember the other one, but I was only watching six. But all of these were in play. So if you had any of these on your watch, they all traded very well, and we're gonna go over them here in detail. So starting off the bat with Snap. Snap actually surprised me yesterday. I did not expect this move out of Snap. Again, it usually doesn't move like this unless it's in serious play. But look at the volume just yesterday. So again, was traded really nice actually compared to how it usually trades. So let's look at the actual price action here. So again, it just took off here, very extended. So this was tough to trade. It's very difficult to go into an open range breakup after you see a move like this, especially on a stock that doesn't trade very well. Let me show you the 1 minute chart as well from yesterday. Again, just very, very, very clean. If you did a 2 minute, or if you got in the 3rd minute for open range breakup, it would have turned out very, very nice. Once it got to the 5 minutes, again, just very extended, but still turned out to be a good move if you got in for the open range breakup on the 5, as you can see here, heading all the way up to 1750. And then it really does an ABCD pattern, right? Not as clean. You got your A, you got your B. Here's your C point of support right at the VWAP. And you can get anywhere in this area for the pop, and it goes right towards the high of the day. So again, it turned out to be a good ABCD pattern after the opening range breakup, and we talk about this in our classes. A lot of the times after a nice opening range breakup, you can tend to find a good ABCD pattern. So ABCD pattern combined with open range breakup is really a strong signal for a good possible trade. Then we had TNX. TNX was not as clean, but after this, a lot of stocks yesterday, we talked about this in our chat room. A lot of stocks did have this weird wick right before the open, 5 minutes before. But look at TNX as well. Again, kind of an indecision candle off the bat, but then once it went through VWAP, hit the high of the day, passed this moving average, and turned out to be a very nice long for the open range breakup after this indecision candle, which is usually not a easy trade to take. From there, it just got really choppy after that. Didn't really trade very well, so was not really in play at that point. SEGN, also another one that just took off very nicely. This is the one where I got the FOMO on. We were trading live yesterday in the chat room, Brian and I. And again, this is the one that I was looking at. And you can tell here just the buying pressure just keeps pushing this thing up every time it pushed down, making higher highs, higher lows, kind of squeezing into the high of the day, and then boom, it took off nicely. So I definitely missed the entry there, failed to pull the trigger. But you can see here, this was my concern. It had good volume at the open, but then after that, the volume was not great. So that's what kind of made me hesitant to take this trade. But again, if you took this trade here, this turned out very, very nice. TER also was a little more on the crazier side, but we did take an open range breakup on this one. I got stopped out for the breakdown, but then we're able to get in on the entry here for the long, and it popped up really nice above VWAP. Hitting the high of the day and making this high here. We took everything off right at this level, 55.48, and the reason for that is because it was just so extended. This move happened so fast, and the price action and also the spread was not great. So you didn't want to stay here too long and overstay your welcome. I was concerned with this pullback, and look, we got a nice pullback all the way down towards the VWAP, and then here bounces off the VWAP. Again, it kind of broke down to it a little bit, but then it bounces nicely. Then it just takes off and never looks back, hitting all the way up to 58. So again, if you caught this nice trend trade here, this turned out to be a really, really nice long. Next, we had IRBT, another one also that turned out to be a beautiful opening range breakdown. I'm usually sometimes concerned when you get this big wick here, because again, that's a huge sell-off. So you don't want to go in on the opening range breakdown at this point here, because this tends to be not the best risk to reward after such a nice drop. But a lot of traders caught this in here after it left the VWAP. Unfortunately, I did not have shares for short once this thing opened up, so that was a bummer. But again, it turned out to be a really nice short, and then it found support. It found support here, and then you can see making higher highs, higher lows, and then you get a nice VWAP reversal back up to VWAP all the way up to this moving average here. So that turned out to be a good trader also. Next we had UPS. UPS, another one also very clean. Here's another candle that you have that weird drop and then back up. Another beautiful opening range breakup. Again, not extended. You can see here it takes off nicely and it gives you an opportunity to get in for the 5-minute opening range breakup, and then goes right towards these levels that we had up here. It tried to get to this 1490. That's the level we have from our pre-market show yesterday. Didn't quite get to it, but again, these levels are an area, so it didn't quite hit it, but very close enough for you to take profits. Next, we had a CAT. CAT, this one, I was watching this one. The trade is very weird, so I didn't see any type of great move on this one. Again, another weird candle right before the open. A lot of stocks had this yesterday, but again, had a nice drop here. If you play the VWAP reversal, this could have been a good entry for a long all the way up to the high of the day. And then the last one we had here was Facebook. Again, Facebook, a beautiful opening range breakup. What I like about this opening range breakup, again, just that one candle again here, is that it gives you a very nice pullback right to VWAP. That's my favorite strategy there. I didn't see this one. Obviously, I was trading TER. And again, just nicely pops up towards this 200. I believe this is 200 moving average here on this chart. Comes right back down to VWAP. Brian took a nice short here to VWAP, cover everything at VWAP, and then holds the VWAP and then just takes off, hits the high of the day, and goes even higher. So again, Facebook, just a beautiful trade here. You almost have an ABCD pattern. This consolidation period is not it's not that long, but you could either add it here if you had a position at the open range breakup, or also just taking into the trade here for the ABCD pattern towards the high of the day. So again, just a lot of stocks that traded well yesterday. As you know, our gappers list was huge yesterday. We had tons of stocks all the way down to here. So in areas like that, you just got to be a little picky, and you can't watch everything, but just watch a few that meet your criteria. All right, guys, so that's what we had yesterday. A lot of great trading, good stocks. Norm, what do we have on news today?
Hey there, Carlos. Well, we had a couple of pieces of economic data come out just a few minutes ago when we were starting up the show. Apologize for the dog barking, the kid crying. It's a little crazy at my house this morning. Durable goods orders came out, which actually was a lot better than expected. And then jobless claims were essentially in line, slightly better than they had expected. So SPY's up a little bit this morning. Popped up on news before that about 8 a.m. Eastern. It's been kind of flat ever since. And then just a ton of earnings today. I mean, obviously Tesla, we're going to take a look at in a few minutes, reported last night, and it's just getting hammered. Facebook has actually given up a lot of the gains that it put in the afternoon session yesterday. So anyway, got my eye on a few things, and we can go over those in a little bit.
All right, excellent. Yeah, so definitely got a few movers today. Again, a lot of the stocks that we just went over, if you look at the daily, again, they moved quite a bit. So we can even expect some continuations out of those stocks as well. But let's go over what we have here at the moment. So let's start over with TAL. So TAL up here on the gappers list, it is down 8.7, 323,000 shares traded on this ticker today. As you can see here, the daily chart a little bit all over the place, not as clean. You can see a lot of gaps here. Also, you have a lot of just weird candles, some very big wicks here going on. So again, just not the best, cleanest daily chart. We do have a level here from before around 33.56, worth keeping that one there, and also the low of the day a little bit lower than that. So let's look at the pre-market action. Oh man, this is not a great pre-market action at all. We got some volume here, down quite a bit. Daily chart's horrible, and also this pre-market action is horrible. So we'll see. We'll come back to this one. We'll make a decision in a few minutes. Then CARA, C-A-R-A. This one is down 9.9. We have traded this one before in the past. As you can see here, 174,000 shares traded at the moment. This one is, again, the pre-market action not looking so great right now, but not too bad. Better than TAL, that's for sure. It's definitely got a nice little range here going up and heading back down. So we'll come back to this one. Look how some of these levels that we have here are also playing in, right? 23, 12, 24. So we can see some of these areas that we had in the past. are being significant levels of support and resistance. But we'll remove these and we'll get some fresh ones because we want to include some of the latest information we have on here. Obviously, every time we move towards the right over here, we're going to get new data, so we want to consider that data in our next level, levels that we put together. Here's Tesla, as Norm was mentioning. This one on earnings down 11.1, then down quite a bit. I mean, it has been a nice run anyway, right? The last couple of weeks since June, it's just been grinding higher and higher, moving on this moving average here. So nice big drop for them today. We can see some levels on here of support and probably resistance and probably support in here. Also, we have some moving averages, so the daily looks great on Tesla for us to find some levels on. Pre-market action on this one looks amazing today, right? Tesla doesn't usually have a great pre-market action, but this morning you can see we have a nice little float to it, better than most days on this type of stock. And also we got some great volume, 828,000 shares traded. So this one will be in play today. Next on the list is PTC. PTC down 16%, 108,000 shares traded. So just barely cracking our criteria here, our filter of 100K in volume. Daily chart looks nice. I do like this drop all the way down here. So that like nice big drop on PTC. Nora, what's the news on PTC? Anything significantly happening on this one? This one looks to have dropped quite a bit. It looks like the price is also sitting around some levels back here from November, also December and February.
Yeah, they reported earnings last night after the close and were a little disappointing, along with disappointing guidance, I believe.
Yeah, yep. I see there's definitely a lot of red on the gappers list today. So not one stock gapping up this morning. So that's interesting. So let's take a look at just.
Yeah, it's not often that you see all of the gappers red, yet the SPY is up. The SPY is green.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. So I wanted to look into the SPY to see the SPY was selling off because I had not looked at it this morning, but it's up. It's green and above all-time high on top of that. So very, very weird that there's not more green in this screen here. Just want to check some of the other stuff that here. Well, we have MU here, but MU is pretty flat right now. Less than. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not MU. That's still the SPY information. Here's MU. Yeah, so not even up 1% yet. Let's look at AMD real quick. Also pretty much flat. So, but the SPY is up. SPY is up and looks like it's very active this morning. So we'll see how the open develops. All right, guys, so let's go into our NASDAQ active and NASDAQ gainers. Let's see what we have here. Let's start off with FCEL, penny stock, not really tradable. GEMP, also another penny stock. It's not really tradable. It has some days where it has popped up, but again, our strategies don't work well with these type of stocks. TNXP, also another penny stock, so we'll leave that alone. We traded this one before in the past, or at least looked at it. I don't recall trading it, but we looked at it when it was hanging around above this $3 range here, when it has several days with some good volume. But now it's just really just taking a crappy turn for the worse here, heading down now to towards below $1, gapping. It's gapping up today. But again, it had a nice drop below $1. So again, just going into that scary territory that we don't want to get into. NASDAQ ETF here also up, hitting all-time highs, as well as the SPY. Tesla, we have obviously down quite a bit today. 11%. Facebook's also interesting. Why is this one not showing on here yet? Oh, because it's barely getting to 2%. But Facebook is good today. Facebook is in play. Had a big day yesterday, and today's hitting higher over here. That's funny. They got fined was it million? What, I forgot the number. 5 something, but whatever. It just didn't matter, right? So you got some news there that you could think is going to be negative, and look at it, what it did yesterday. 5 billion, right? It's just pocket change for these guys. And then you can see how it reacts yesterday. Now it's actually gapping up. So I guess getting that issue out of the way and be done with the fine could be actually good news. TRNX, penny stock, not really important. The TVIX volatility index pretty flat right now at the moment. Should be dropping. The SPY is heading up. TLT has some volume, 267,000 shares traded right now. Daily chart looks nasty within this area here. Not really clean, very choppy. This looks like a foreign stock, but I'm not sure if it is. But looking at the pre-market action, just doesn't look great, guys. So you do have some volume, but a lot of it's just not really looking clean here. So not too excited about this one just yet. What's the flow? Also, just curious because it's trading a little funky here. TLT. I don't have no flow information on trade ideas. this
That's a
morning.
treasury. That's a
Oh, there it
treasury
is.
ETF, so
No
it's
wonder.
garbage anyway.
Yeah, no wonder. All right, so yeah, not really tradable. Next, what we have here, MU. MU again, just looked at it earlier. Not much going on here. It's got some volume on it. Not a great pre-market action, but it is again, it's climbing higher. But at the moment, just not looking too great for right now. Next, GEMP we looked at right over here. Again, not really tradable. EDAP. EDAP also looking like garbage here today. Again, only 11,000 shares traded. It's up 12.3, but again, not a great pre-market action, so we'll skip that. GOSS, also no volume, only 1,000 shares traded. CAPR, CAPR has no activity, also only 30,000 shares traded. We'll skip that. CORV, same situation. NTGR, same. LMAT, it's been having a nice little run up here the last couple of days, but again, right now, not really much activity going on. This could be an interesting one to look at later on. It's gapping up 7.5, but again, just not really tradable. Just curious to see what type of flow we're working with here. The 60 million shares flow, so a little bit on the lower side. So again, looks interesting on the daily, but right now the activity is definitely not there. It needs more volume. Next we have ZFGN, CFGN penny stock, no action right now. CHMA, this one was hot a couple of days ago. Look at this big drop yesterday, but on this day it definitely was in play, had a lot of volume. Today not really doing much. It's gapping up 4.8, but again, not a great pre-market action, so not really in play. EGLE, at the moment, not much activity. Had a nice big red day yesterday, popping up a bit, 4.5, probably a continuation move here. But again, not really much going on as far as volume. And then that's the last one on the list. All right, excellent, guys. Norm, your top four are definitely looking great today. At least two of them are.
We at least got to
Yeah.
50% batting 500. I'll take that all day long. Yeah, Facebook's looking amazing. Facebook was up well over 2%, and I think it's given back some of the profits this morning. I actually got my eye on it. I might see if I can find a pre-market entry for it. If it shows any signs of life coming back a little bit. NVIDIA had a nice breakout strong day yesterday, so it's not surprising it's giving back a little bit of the gains.
Yeah.
I actually, since I didn't trade yesterday, I saw some of these like NVIDIA, and I had a little bit of FOMO on a couple of these stocks that I usually trade. Apple had a strong day yesterday overall, and it's trying to break out from consolidation here. And Roku hadn't done anything yet this morning. So overall, those are looking pretty decent. Then there's a couple others. PayPal just popped up, which I had on my list before it did, looking pretty nice.
Yeah, this looks good.
So those are a couple of things there that. Couple of things there I'm watching.
Excellent. Yeah, it's funny. In the chat room yesterday, I think it was Peter, or I forgot which moderator, but I think it was Peter. He was on here. We were looking at NVIDIA, and we said, man, if Norm was trading today, we could picture it already. Him going long here on the bounce, getting out here, adding here, which you're great at adding, and taking the rest out here. So we kind of know how you trade already. And this was
that was a beautiful drop if you just waited for it to get a little support right there.
Yep, absolutely. All right, folks, so let's look at what you guys have on your end. So let's start over here. Daniel Thomas giving us BMY. So BMY, let's see what's going on with this one here. BMY at the moment, 319,000 shares traded. The daily looks interesting. I see what you're looking at. It's got some areas of support here. Could be nice for a bounce. Not sure if there's any specific news on this one today. Let's check the pre-market activity. So at the moment, pre-market activity is not looking too great, but again, the daily looks interesting. You got a lot of support towards the bottom here on the 5, and then here on the daily, just some areas of support in this situation here. We have traded this one in the past. You can see when that's the volume is definitely in play. I remember trading this one. It trades very well. It trades clean. My issue with it this morning is that the pre-market action is not as great right now. Now, can it get better later in the day? Yes, it can. So we're going to throw this on here for later on. Next we have
That's pretty normal for BMY. Usually doesn't trade very well pre-market,
Right.
although it can trade pretty well once it opens.
Once it opens up, yeah.
At least better than it looks right now.
Agreed. NOK, this one is wow, this one's up huge, 8.1 this morning. Nokia, 2.9 million shares trade. Now this reminds me of S, right? These telecommunications companies, the issue I have with them, they don't move much. You know, the ATR is very, very low. But again, this one is up quite a bit. Pre-market action is probably gonna look a little funky with this type of volume. Yeah, you can see it here. It's just not looking too great on the pre-market action, but this is normal for these type of stocks. So clearly in play today. The one issue with this one is you have to take a lot of shares for these type of moves to to make it worth your while. But either way, don't go crazy. Definitely manage your risk. We're hitting some kind of resistance up here. So we'll throw it on here. We'll take a look at it, but I will most likely not have it on my final watch list. Let's check F. See what F is up to. F is also here gapping down quite a bit, 5.6, 2.7 million shares flow. I'm assuming the ATR is very low because it's not popping up into our scanners. Yeah, ATR, it kind of reminds me of like those GE companies. These companies have been around forever that just don't really move much. And look at the float. I mean, 33.9 billion. Usually when you have a float that large, the movements are very, very, very small. So here this is down quite a bit though, so today it is in play because it's a big drop. Any news specifically on Ford this morning, Norm, that's causing this drop on it?
I'm sorry, you cut out for me for a second. I don't know if it was just me or everybody else. What did you ask?
Oh, I asked for Ford. Any news on F this morning?
Yeah, they reported yesterday after the close.
Okay.
So
yeah, so again, guys, it reminds me of like a GE stock, one of these stocks that's been around for a while, big blue chip here type stock that just doesn't trade, doesn't move much, right? So again, we'll see. We can put it on here. We'll come back to it. Next, what do we have? NOK, we have BUD. I don't like the way BUD trades. It is a foreign stock, but it doesn't trade well. Me personally, I don't know about you, know if you had any success trading this stock, but it doesn't trade very clean.
No, it's a foreign company, and that's pretty indicative of foreign companies and trading poorly. That's why we don't.
Yeah.
A lot of times trade foreign stuff.
Here we have AZN. AZN is doesn't have much
Also
volume
a foreign
right now.
company.
Yeah, that's another foreign company. So gapping up at 5.4. But again, with our style of trading, these are a little bit more difficult to trade our strategies in. All right, what else we have? SAV. So SAV, this is down quite a bit, 15.3. Spirit Airlines. I love the daily though. It's got a nice daily because you got some clear area of support down here. Huge drop from all the way from 55 down to 46. That's a nice big drop this morning. Yeah, this is interesting. This is definitely worth taking a look at in details later on. All right, so we have F, we have T. Are all the telecommunications moving today? Is that what it is? T here is AT&T is up. We have Nokia also up. So there must be some news on these guys. Something happened in that sector that's causing these guys to pop up today. T is another one, guys. It just reminds me of like S. They just don't move great. These telecommunications company, we've seen them in play before. Even with more volume than this here, when they were all in play just a couple of weeks ago, I don't know if you remember, Norm, they all had some news about some mergers with Spring, and I think it was T-Mobile. And all of them were in play. A lot of volume, but the moves were horrible, Yeah. So let's go over here to LUV. LUV, another airline, Southwest Airlines, also down 4.1. Looks like this sector is also taking a hit today. Two so far that are down this morning. This one, I don't like the daily chart on LUV. We traded it before in the past, but again, it's just another one that doesn't trade very well. Airlines for me are a little hard to trade. I'm not sure for everybody else, but I have a difficult time trading these airline moves. So not much volume right now. It is down quite a bit. As we can see, some of the other ones like this one here, Spirit Airlines, actually might be one of the cleanest ones to watch this morning, as this one is down significantly, 15.1. WWE, here. Let's see what's going on. So not great volume on WWE right now. As you can see here, just popping up quite a bit here, 3%. But again, the pre-market activity and the volume is not there yet. So we need more out of the wrestling world. All right, guys. Let's see. Anything else? MMM. All right, MMM is. Oops. Let's get this correct here. So MMM at the moment is all right. This is up nice, 4.6. Nice daily chart here at the moment. Not a great pre-market action just yet, but again, it does have a nice little pop here, and the daily looks interesting too. It has a very, very nice daily, some nice clean areas of support and resistance here, and you can see here we're breaking out of this 180, which was an area of support back in May. So this looks interesting on the daily. We got a moving average coming in here as well. My only concern with this one is just it's a little higher price stock, and also my concern is this pre-market activity at the moment. But it's worth watching because it has a nice little pop, and I do like the way the daily is setting up. We'll do a few more X, L, and X. This one, pre-market activity is pretty flat. It does have 84,000 shares traded, but pre-market is pretty dead right now. It is down quite a bit. It had a big day yesterday, had a nice run up the last couple of days, but right now it looks like it might be bouncing off this moving average. Probably people taking profit unless some news came out on this as significant. But nothing other than the daily chart, nothing too exciting on the actual pre-market this morning. All right, folks, let's go ahead.
They reported earnings after the close yesterday, so that's what some of that move is. They had a massive last quarter when they posted earnings. They dropped huge. It was like 20 points or so.
Wow, is this here?
Yeah,
I mean, this is that's pretty nasty there. So they crawled their way back and almost closed the gap, and now I guess they got some more bad news. Not as bad as this was, but they're dropping down quite a bit today. So let's see what else. One more, guys. Apple. Yeah, we do have Apple here, so we'll look at Apple. Apple's daily again is setting up like we've been talking about the way Nvidia was setting up. Right? We had this conversation around here when Nvidia was doing the same thing. It looked like it was going to pop the next day. We didn't know when it was going to happen, but once it got some momentum, it popped really nice, hit this level that it had previous resistance, and went up as it did yesterday. Apple has that same kind of setup now, where you have several days kind of just squeezing in here, consolidating. It looks like it wants to get up here towards this 215 level. So it's got that look on it. So Apple could be interesting. Not great movement right now out of Apple, and yesterday was pretty flat. The day before also not great movement, but it's been on the daily overall. It's been having a nice little run here. So mid-morning, we can tune into this and see if it has created some kind of trend with some volume that can give us some movement towards the upside, like we have seen in some of these days that are a little bigger than the other candles. All right, folks, let's get into some announcements, and then we'll make this list a little smaller. And then I know it's a lot of more tickers you guys are throwing out here: Twitter, MU, BA, SQ, EDU. If we have extra time, we're gonna go over those.
All right. So tonight, 8 p.m., we have the Lifetime webinar. 8 p.m. Eastern Lifetime webinar, and then immediately after that, Class 5 on risk management, taught by my man Carlos on the other end of the mic over there. That will wrap up live classes for the week that we've had all week. We are in the process of working on the Brett Steenbarger discussion. Please post your questions in the forum thread that is created, and Abiel has posted it up top in the links. Tomorrow, Kurt will be doing what he has now named his Friday fireside chat. Last hour of the market, I believe. Kurt, if I'm wrong, please correct me. The last hour of the market, so 3 p.m. Eastern. He will be talking about FOMO and dealing with FOMO tomorrow. So tune in for that. Last week was very interesting to listen to as well. Then Thursday, August 1st, 8 p.m., we're going to have our next round of YouTube Live Ask Me Anything. It's going to be with William and Jeremy Newsom from Real Life Trading. So take a look at that. The link is created on YouTube. So please, if you're on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, because otherwise the subscription doesn't do a whole lot. the notification bell will let you know when we release new content or post things such as those live streams. What else do we have? I feel like I'm running a little bit short on this. It feels like the announcement. Oh, we've got a meetup July 27th in Pasadena. So Los Angeles meetup in Pasadena, July 27th. Links are for Facebook and the forum. Abiel's posted in the alerts. You don't have to be a member to go to these. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you live in the Southern California area and can make it to the meetup, go out there, meet William. And then the Phoenix meetup, same thing there. Links posted in the alerts up top. Andrew will be at the Phoenix meetup as well as William. So take a look at the links there. Post your RSVP if possible. Come out. Andrew will buy you a drink. Let's see here. Two other just kind of items. Thank you guys for posting off-topic stuff in the off-topic, unless it's directly relating to trading, setups or news or something like that. Post it in the main chat. Otherwise, please post an off-topic, questions about brokers, technical issues, platforms, stuff like that, or just, general, if you're having fun, post it in off-topic. And if you are watching us on YouTube, the live stream, and you have not tried out the room, you'd like to stick with us and see what it's like to trade in the room throughout the day, you can use the promo code premarket24. That's premarket24, no spaces, and you will get a discount for the 1 week trial that does not renew. So anyway, that is what I got for today. I've been a little bit out of touch since I was not around yesterday. If I missed anything, please let me know, Carlos.
No, that is perfect. That is what we have. Thank you, Norm. All right, guys, let's get into it. Let's make this list a little smaller, and then we'll look into some of those other tickers you guys threw out there just to make sure we cover everything. We might be able to have some time towards the end. So let's start with TAL. So TAL, again, we got some good volume, down 8%. Nasty daily chart, not great, but even with this nasty daily chart, you can find some areas of support and resistance. And you also have several days where you have some really nice runs here on TAL. I have traded this one in the past. It trades very well. It looks like it is going to be in play today. It's got a nice bounce off this 33.56, so I'm going to keep that level on there. Actually, we can bring it down to this date right here, which is very close to where the low of the pre-market is. And then above that, I'm going to also mark down this area because, again, you have several days here that got some wicks here bouncing off that 33.70. 76. So let's mark that down. Now towards the bottom, in case we lose that 33.25, very close towards the pre-market, we do have this 32.08, which we had from before, but I'm going to find a better spot for this now with some more recent data that we have. Clearly here, 32.45 off this day is a great area to have this support. Also, you have the moving average as of this morning, very close at 32.45. So as you get new information on your daily chart and moving averages, and things keep moving towards the right over here, you want to add your most recent levels on here that make more sense. So towards the top of the price action is kind of sitting right at a area where you have some change in direction, right, on some of these candles, right? So if I draw this blue line right on here, you can see some areas where the day is closing right on there, a bounce right from here. You have several days, closing in that area, So again, also a bounce from here, and the next day it heads higher. So that 34.34 is definitely an area where we've seen some change in direction. So that's important. Let's keep an eye out for that. I'm not going to mark it just yet, but towards the top, we have a nice level here at 35.21, and then the low of the day from 2 days ago, right? Low of the day from 2 days ago is right in here. This is a great level also. Look how that low of the day, if I draw this blue line, you can probably see a little better. You can see how many days are opening and closing and bouncing around that area. So you have one here, in this area here, as well as here, these couple of days also. So again, interesting there, the low of the day, look out for that. But this is TAL, what we have so far. Pre-market action is not looking too great, so this might be a reason why we cross this off our list today. But we're gonna stick with it for now and make a decision later on. But again, I do like how the levels are lining up for TAL. CAR at the moment not looking too great. Pre-market activity started off nice with a pop and then a drop, and then it's kind of just going flat right now. Does not mean that we won't get anything later on today. I do like the daily, but I do not like that I do not have shares for short. So that's a bummer with CME. So not sure if you have it with your broker. If you do, might be worth taking a look at it. I'm not saying we're short bias on this, but with this nice drop here, if we lose the low of the day sitting at 24.50, I'm sorry, 23.46, 23.45, you know, you got a possibility of hitting some of these levels down here. This 22.66 is a beautiful level. You can see this pop here after it holds these moving averages, coming right to that level, comes back down, catches this 9 EMA on the daily moving average, and then you can see here heading back to that 22.66. So I really like that level and the way it's been resistance in the last couple of weeks. Then towards the bottom, clear moving average here. I'm going to mark this down as well, around 21.36, and also in the area where you had prior resistance and then support as well. So again, that's another nice level to have on your chart. Towards the top, if we can get going and bounce off this level of the low of the day, we have 24.58 is the high of the pre-market, pretty close to some of these areas here, and also this one here. So this level is so good. Usually I don't like to put my level so close, but this one is so great because and the reason why is you have a clear, nice bounce. This thing opens up all the way up here, comes all the way down to this 24.26, and then heads back up, right? So that's a very strong level, and you can see here on this day that it actually cracked through some of these resistance. It hits right to that 24.26, and then also opens up from there and heads higher. So again, at 24.26, very close towards the high of the day, but I think that's going to be an interesting level to have on your list. And above that, plenty of highs and lows in previous day close between 25 and 26.50. So that's what we have so far. But again, the pre-market action hopefully can continue to get more volume. Right now, looking pretty slim in that area. Tesla obviously in play today. Huge drop after earnings. Low of the pre-market. Looks like we just made a new low. So we might be making a new low as soon as I put this down here. 233.29 is the low of the pre-market at the moment. High of the pre-market sitting around 235.37. So we have that range right now that is kind of playing around in since this morning, 8 a.m. So kind of popped up to it, you know, broke out of it a little bit, comes right back down and heads down here. So wait, the high of the pre-market, I'm sorry, is that 235? I thought it would be around this area here. Why would it be 235.37? Okay, I'm not sure where that's happening because it looks higher over here. So I'm going to mark this down here, 236.51. So I'm going to mark that down. Right, so that is what we have. And then above the price action, we have some levels all the way up here, 21.41. Don't be short bias, guys. This is a big drop on Tesla. Who knows what's going to happen? So wait for a setup at the open. Do not have a bias on what it's going to do. We have another great level here at 227.39. You can see that area on the way back up when we started heading higher, area of resistance. Then we come back and test this, and it becomes support. So at 227.39, it's a nice clean area there. Looks like we're going to probably make a new low of the day here. So we'll see what takes place there. All right, guys, let's go over to PTC. So PTC down 16% this morning, 167,000 shares traded, but the pre-market action is not looking too good. So that's one thing that's not looking great in this one today. Low of the pre-market 75.50, high of the pre-market 78.50. We'll mark those two. The next level of resistance was this level of support, 80.62. So we'll mark that down. And then we'll head over here and see what we got going on in this area. So the last time we were around this price range, you can see here we have some areas of support, which is the high of the pre-market right now, 78.39, 78.50. You can see if you draw a line right on, you can see several days just bouncing off that 78.39. I want to get something towards the bottom. If we can head back down and crack this 75.54, we do have shares for short on this one, so it'll be nice to have an area we can target, calculate risk to reward, calculate where we can lose some momentum, take some profit or so forth, or get into a situation we can catch a reverse or a double bottom of any situation there. So here we have some area at around 72.62. Seems great. You have a day here closing and opening around that range, also becoming resistance and then support, right? You come back usually after you break resistance. You come back and test it. If it's strong enough, it becomes support, and then you can see here a nice, beautiful climb towards this high of 80.62. So that is a great level there. I don't think we need any more on this stock today. So the pre-market action not looking too great this morning. Again, volume is okay, and haven't seen how this stock actually trades. So again, it could have a nasty pre-market action, still give us a good opportunity, but I really love the daily and on this beautiful drop this morning. Let's take a look at Facebook. Facebook is sitting at I'm not sure if it's all-time high, but at a high of 209.93. Just check back in. No, not the all-time high. We have another high all the way up here. I'm going to mark this one here, 218, and then you have another day here where a possible 212. So plenty of levels for Facebook towards the top. Again, has been pretty strong the last couple of weeks, but yesterday had a very strong day, and now up again almost another percent, giving some back this morning. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not going to mark the low of the pre-market because it looks like we're going to continue to make a new low as we head towards the bottom. All right, so NVIDIA, we have some levels for already. You have your lows and highs from 2 days ago in here, and you also have this 178, which we can actually take out the way because the previous day close is right on there. So we can take that out the way. I'm not going to mark the high of the pre-market or the low because they're pretty much very close to this range here. Right now, not great volume out of NVIDIA, so we'll have to wait for this one to get going at the open. So I'm going to remove it from my list at the moment. Apple, same situation, not great volume right now, so not a great pre-market activity, but we'll remove it from here and we'll keep an eye on it if it gets going at the open, if it hits any of our scanners. BMY, again, has a nasty pre-market action, but this is typical for this type of stock. It does have some good volume, 370,000 shares traded. We have a dip of the low of the pre-market all the way down at 41.79, so I'm going to mark that down. And then we also have towards the top, the high of the pre-market at 43.90. So has created a very nice little range here. It's kind of stuck right in the middle right now, but down 1.3 from the open yesterday. From the close yesterday. So interesting situation. We have some levels in between here already, highs and lows from the last two days ago, the previous day close, and again just the moving average also coming in here. I'm going to mark this one down because this moving average, there's several things I like about it. 43.53, and you also have a day that's bouncing from that, and a day also here bouncing from that as well. So like this one, I'm going to keep that one on my list. PayPal is now should be on our scanners as we're getting over 100,000 shares traded so far. This is down quite a bit, so I'm going to mark low of the pre-market 115.88. We have a moving average also creeping up below that. Find a level of support here towards the bottom if we can crack that 113.11, and then towards the top you have several highs and lows from the last trading days, from the last 2 trading days. So plenty of levels towards the top. Next we have NOK. So NOK right now, I'm not going to keep this one, guys, because again it's just the ATR is so low on this one, so I'm going to just remove this one from the list. Same thing with Ford, guys. Again, is down quite a bit today, down 5.6, but again just the ATR on these type of stocks, they don't tend to move and trade too well, so I'm going to remove this one also from my list. Spirit Airlines, I'm going to keep. This has a nice big drop. The activity right now is not great, but I like the daily. You got some clear supports areas right on. You can see here in June and July how nice that was. Towards the top also you have 747.93, and then you also have another level right on here. If you draw a line at 48.98, a very clean level right across here of area of resistance and support as well. Towards the bottom, if we can lose the low of the pre-market, we have another one here at 46.02, which looks like we're about to lose the low of the pre-market now. So this is getting interesting. I'll keep an eye on that. And then MMM, I'm going to remove this one just because I have way too many. And I see Andrew is getting ready to get going here, so I'm going to keep this list for now, see what Andrew and Brian have on their watch list, and then finalize this list to watch a top 6. Thank you guys on YouTube. Take care. Have a great trading day today. Trade safe, and we'll see you tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern time.
Thanks, guys. Trade safe. Morning, Andrew.
Good morning, Norm. Good morning, Carlos. Thank you very much. It was actually very